宙之主降临了！
你这是在挑衅我星空巨兽联盟吗？这浩荡宇宙只靠实力说话，
一旦被灵魂侵蚀，就死定了。
我既然已到，你就别想再上当。
糟了，得马上离开原始星。
Both Universe Knights fell into a daze at the mention of Blade River Lure. 100 Raccoon Knight SI sparkled with excitement as he wondered if it could be the legendary top-tier true treasure, Blade River Lure, a relic that had been the most alluring true treasure since the original stars opened a century earlier. A giant tomb, known as the Blade Tomb, emerged from underground. An ancient tablet on the tomb revealed that it contained numerous godly blades and several ordinary true treasures, with the most precious being the components of Blade River Luo, a compass and 9 godly blades. Once all 9 blades were integrated into the compass, it would transform into an boundless Blade River with omnipotent power. Merging all 9 blades into one would unleash even more terrifying force, making it a domain-type treasure with the attacking power of a pinnacle true treasure. The compass itself was already an ordinary domain-type true treasure, and its power would grow with each blade added, reaching perfection when all 9 were merged. The last time the compass had appeared, it had only carried 1 black blade. 100 Raccoon Knight asked where they had found a godly blade of Blade River Luo, and before the other Universe Knight could respond, the purple metal Universe Knight interjected, explaining that the true treasure in question was the black blade obtained by 2 space beasts. He added that he had seen photos of Blade River Luo and confirmed the black blade matched the one in the images, leaving Black Raccoon Knight stunned. The Purple Metal Knight urged them to report the discovery to their alliance immediately, and 100 Raccoon Knight nodded in agreement. Many supreme beings who entered the original stars had left clones with their races, though clones could only send simple messages and not handle important matters, while some had left their original bodies behind. 100 Raccoon Knight murmured that his clone had already entered the Alliance Center and that a Universe Master was coming to meet him. After some time, 100 Raccoon Knight informed his companions that he had relayed the situation to the Universe Master, replicated the Black Blade S shape with his mind, and received confirmation that it was indeed a component of Blade River Lure. The Universe Master had explained that true treasures were rare, making it nearly impossible for 2 identical true treasures to appear on the original stars in such a short time. He had ordered them not to take action, instead summoning the closest universe overlords and Fu Mo Master to the area, and had marked their contribution news that brought smiles to all the companions. The Northern Territory Alliance promptly dispatched powerful beings to the original star where Luo Feng was staying. Meanwhile, in the virtual universe, an open-air bar gathered numerous Universe Knights from Hong Alliance City. Almost all great beings who entered the original stars left clones to connect to the virtual universe and convey information. A bald, golden-eyed great being covered in body hair showed everyone a photo of a true treasure that had surfaced from a swamp, explaining that he had arrived too late and the treasure had been seized by 2 great beings from the Space Beast Alliance. The crowd lamented the loss, especially since the treasure had fallen into the hands of the Space Beast Alliance, but their attention shifted to excitement when several recognized the treasure as a godly blade of Blade River Luo. Luo Feng, who was walking toward the bar, felt confused. Though the valuable item on the original star had already recognized him as its master, it had not sent him any information. He had connected to the virtual universe to ask his friends about this, and upon spotting Kwangju Knight, he called out to him. Kwangju turned, smiled, and greeted him, but Luo Feng suddenly frowned as he noticed a familiar figure, the bald Universe Knight who had attacked him alongside another Hong Alliance Knight. While Luo Feng's consciousness remained in the virtual universe, 3 great beings gathered in the forest beneath the whirlpool portal on his original star. They explained that they had arrived as quickly as possible under the Alliance's orders and were the first to reach the area. They agreed that once the Space Beasts realized the Black Godly Blade was part of Blade River Luo, they would rush to the whirlpool portal to use teleportation and God Country transportation, making them impossible to catch. One of the beings suggested that Wang Jian Knight guard the area while he and Bei Feng Knight attacked the Space Beasts first, arguing that the 2 of them could defeat the Space Beasts together. After a moment of hesitation, Bei Feng Knight agreed, and the 3 made a pact to divide any contribution points equitably if they obtained the Godly Blade. 2 figures then took flight, a repulsive 100-foot-tall creature with 3 horns, hawk-like eyes, thick arms, and an ancient spear with 3 bloodstains on its tip, and a 30-foot-tall figure entirely enveloped in a black cape and mask, identified as Bei Feng Knight. The 3-horned Knight Chi Blood Palace leader told Bei Feng Knight to launch a soul attack first to either kill or hinder the Space Beasts, while he would engage them in close combat using his burning godly body, ultimate techniques, and Chi Blood Spear. He boasted that his attack, even against ordinary true treasure armor, could rival that of a universe master, weakening the armor's defense to a fraction of its normal capability. Beifeng Knight praised the Qi Blood Spear, a senior true treasure, and assured Qi Blood Palace leader of their success. Qi Blood Palace leader, a renowned universe overlord in the Northern Territory Alliance with 3 true treasures, was capable of fighting a universe master briefly with his close combat skills and Qi Blood Spear, and his full strength could surpass the limit of ordinary true treasures. Ordinary true treasure armor could weaken material attacks by 99.99% within its limit, but once the attack exceeded that limit, its defense plummeted, potentially even breaking one reason universe masters disdained ordinary true treasures. Qi Blood Palace leader added that despite the space beast's large godly bodies, he could kill them with several strikes from his Qi Blood Spear, and he reminded Beifeng Knight to use his soul attack to prevent them from escaping, noting that the golden horned beast possessed a winged true treasure. Beifeng Knight agreed, and the two raced toward Luo Feng like streaks of light. The Northern Territory Alliance had deduced Luo Feng's location near the Black Blade's birthplace, leading Qi Blood Palace leader and Beifeng Knight directly to him. Back in the virtual universe, Luo Feng stared in shock at the bald universe knight, recognizing him as one of the 2 Hong Alliance knights who had attacked him for the valuable item. As he listened to the crowd's conversation, he learned that the Black Blade was a godly blade of Blade River Luo, rumored to have a compass held by a Thorn Ring Alliance universe master who would pay a fortune for the remaining blades. The blade, though appearing ordinary, was at least as valuable as a senior true treasure, and the crowd lamented that it had fallen into the hands of 2 space beasts. Luo Feng was stunned to realize that the black godly blade he had obtained was part of Blade River Luo, a top-tier domain-type true treasure with pinnacle attacking power at least as valuable as Thousand Treasures River once fully assembled. When the crowd pressed the bald knight for the blade's location, eager to hunt the space beasts and claim the reward, Luo Feng realized he was in grave danger and quickly excused himself from Guangzhou Knight before disappearing from the virtual universe. On the original star, Luo Feng urgently told Remote Ocean Luo Feng and the Golden Horned Beast that many Hong Alliance great beings would soon gather and that he needed to flee immediately. He explained that the prison race, Hong Alliance, and Northern Territory Alliance had all seen the Black Blade when he obtained it, and while the Hong Alliance was just gathering, the Northern Territory Alliance and prison race would arrive soon. Remote Ocean Luo Feng shrank to 6 feet tall and sat on the Golden Horned Beast's back, and the Golden Horned Beast, speedy and skilled at defense, grew to 30 feet long, spread its wings, burned its godly power, and flew off like a golden beam of light. Qi Blood Palace leader and Beifeng Knight were still en route, as the original star was enormous even traveling at light speed. It took nearly an hour to fly from the Whirlpool portal to Luo Feng's location. The Northern Territory Alliance's great beings, including Fu Mo Master, were all rushing to the star, but even Fu Mo Master had to fly slowly. Each original star had a diameter of 60 billion miles, and light speed only allowed travel of 6 billion miles per hour, meaning long travel times for those far from the portal. Eventually, though, Qi Blood Palace leader and Beifeng Knight spotted the golden light of the Golden Horned Beast. Remote Ocean Luo Feng and the Golden Horned Beast noticed the 2 streaks of light, initially thinking they were unrelated great beings, but soon realized they were being chased. Luo Feng quickly recognized Qi Blood Palace leader and Beifeng Knight as powerful universe overlords. Qi Blood Palace leader with a senior true treasure and Beifeng Knight proficient in soul attacks, and immediately retracted his Remote Ocean body into his world ring. A mild voice from Beifeng Knight warned them that escape was impossible, and Qi Blood Palace leader's deep voice demanded they hand over the blade. Luo Feng urged the Golden Horned Beast to change direction and flee faster, realizing the Whirlpool portal to the outside was likely guarded and would be a trap. Instead, he planned to escape to another original star through a different Whirlpool portal. Qi Blood Palace leader and Beifeng Knight watched indifferently, confident in their control of the situation. Qi Blood Palace leader signaled Beifeng Knight to attack, and Beifeng Knight twisted the flow of time around them, launching an invisible soul attack that penetrated the Golden Horned Beast's body and attempted to consume its godly power, each part of which contained Luo Feng's soul imprint. Luo Feng quickly activated his Power Pearl to seal his godly body and relied on his strong willpower and Tower Pearl to shield his soul, rendering the soul attack ineffective. Beifeng Knight, thinking his soul attack had at least hindered the Golden Horned Beast, told Qi Blood Palace leader to take his turn. Qi Blood Palace leader charged forward, burning his godly power and infusing it into his Qi Blood Spear, which glowed with bloody lore engravings. He roared and stabbed at the Golden Horned Beast, who tried to shield himself with his wings but was struck, sending him reeling like a hit planet from the force of the blow. Qi Blood Palace leader urged Bei Feng Knight to pursue, and the two chased after the Golden Horned Beast. The Golden Horned Beast, unharmed but impressed by the Qi Blood Spear's power, realized he had only pretended to be affected to test the weapon. He deduced that his Shawu Winger flying true treasure, not proper armor, had weakened the attack by half, while his force armor had weakened it by 99.99%, leaving him to bear only 1/20,000th of the spear's power. Even so, he had sustained a minor injury, shocking him with the spear's destructive force. Qi Blood Palace leader was stunned that the Golden Horned Beast was still powerful, having used his ultimate technique and burned 1/1000th of his godly body. He had expected the Golden Horned Beast to be severely injured, even with the third form of ordinary true treasure armor. The Golden Horned Beast accelerated, and Qi Blood Palace leader ordered Bei Feng Knight to stop him with another soul attack, only to be amazed when the Golden Horned Beast showed no signs of being affected. Qi Blood Palace leader realized they had been tricked. The Golden Horned Beast had deliberately withstood the attack to flaunt his defense, enraging him. He roared, and Bei Feng Knight unleashed 30,000 spiritual force daggers, his spiritual force true treasure, faster than any great being could move. The daggers surrounded the Golden Horned Beast, who used his wings to block most but was hit in the belly, slowing him down and allowing Qi Blood Palace leader and Bei Feng Knight to close in. Luo Feng, annoyed by the pursuit, thought to himself that his force armor should protect him and that he had only pretended to be affected to test the Qi Blood Spear. He considered using his golden thread aurora mirror to counter the spiritual force daggers but decided to teach his pursuers a lesson before fleeing. The Golden Horned Beast turned around and charged at Qi Blood Palace leader and Bei Feng Knight, who was exhilarated by the apparent recklessness. Qi Blood Palace leader burned his godly body and charged, his eyes glowing with bloodlust as he entered a ferocious state. The two clashed fiercely, the Golden Horned Beast striking with his wings and Qi Blood Palace leader dodging and attacking relentlessly with his Qi Blood Spear, using his ultimate technique 13 Spear, a move that consumed more godly body with each strike, reaching 9% after 13 attacks. After several seconds of intense combat, Qi Blood Palace leader backed down, his bloodlust fading, and Bei Feng Knight approached, questioning why his ultimate technique had failed. Qi Blood Palace leader, shocked and angry, exclaimed that he had lost 9% of his godly body yet failed to weaken the Golden Horned Beast. The two stared in awe as the Golden Horned Beast activated his golden thread aurora domain, trapping them in a vast golden field. The Golden Horned Beast flew away, muttering that he had taught them a lesson, and reflected that Qi Blood Palace leader was impressive. Even with his force armor, the knight had managed to consume 1/10,000th of his godly body. Qi Blood Palace leader and Bei Feng Knight, trapped and frightened, realized the Golden Horned Beast must possess a domain-type treasure, a flying true treasure, and likely a senior true treasure armor in its third form, a combination that made even universe overlords tremble. Bei Feng Knight suggested they not admit to fighting the Golden Horned Beast, as no one had witnessed the clash, and instead follow the Alliance's orders to guard the area until Fu Mo Master and other universe masters arrived. Qi Blood Palace leader agreed, knowing the Northern Territory Alliance's blockade would eventually trap the Golden Horned Beast. In an ancient forest on the original star, the Golden Horned Beast hid, his eyes filled with anxiety. Luo Feng abandoned his original plan to flee through the whirlpool portal separating his bodies, having the Golden Horned Beast distract guards while Mosha Body and Remote Ocean Body escaped after realizing the Northern Territory Alliance had likely set a trap. He worried that the Alliance's Universe Master would arrive before Primal Chaos City leader, making escape impossible. Luo Feng considered using his Mosha Body's replication inherited technique but dismissed it as too weak against the Northern Territory Alliance's power. With no other options, he decided to seek help from his teacher, Primal Chaos City leader. In the virtual universe, Luo Feng entered Primal Chaos City leader's palace on Thunder Island and respectfully explained his emergency. He had sent his Golden Horned Beast and Mosha bodies to the original star, obtained a component of Blade River Luo, and was now being hunted by the Northern Territory Alliance, including Qi Blood Palace leader and Bei Feng Knight. Primal Chaos City leader was thrilled to learn Luo Feng was the one who had obtained the Blade River Luo component. He had just heard news that two space beasts had seized it and expressed relief that Luo Feng had survived the attack from Qi Blood Palace leader and Bei Feng Knight. He deduced Luo Feng must possess a powerful defensive true treasure, likely a senior true treasure armor, but did not press for details, knowing Luo Feng had many secrets. Luo Feng admitted he was no match for Qi Blood Palace leader in combat and had survived only because of his godly body, then begged his teacher for help, explaining he was trapped and any attempt to reach a whirlpool portal would be dangerous. Primal Chaos City leader smiled and offered a simple plan: avoid all whirlpool portals and the Black Blade's birthplace, separate his golden horned beast and remote ocean bodies, and leave all valuables with remote ocean body. He explained that Universe Masters of the Northern Territory Alliance would only search for the two space beasts and would not recognize remote ocean body, even if they saw it. If the golden horned beast was killed, the valuables would remain safe, and the Universe Master would not dare to recklessly inspect all great beings on the star, buying Luo Feng enough time for Primal Chaos City leader to arrive. Luo Feng nodded, understanding the plan, and Primal Chaos City leader warned him not to reveal the plan if the Northern Territory Alliance's Universe Master arrived first. Luo Feng thanked his teacher and left the palace. In Human Territory's Primal Region, Thousand Treasures River transformed into a shirt covering Primal Chaos City leader, who grew to over 6,000 miles tall, picked up a stone staff, and stepped into space, disappearing to head for the original star. He left instructions for his subordinates to guard the Primal Region in his absence. Luo Feng's Earthling original body stood outside the palace, silently hoping for the best. At the whirlpool portal closest to the Black Blade's birthplace, great beings of the Northern Territory Alliance gathered, relieved by the arrival of Man Ku Knight, who possessed a domain-type true treasure and confident their third-level arrangement would trap the space beast. They also noted the arrival of more Hong Alliance Universe Knights, worrying that the Hong Alliance had learned of the Blade River Luo component and would meddle. Wang Jian Knight was ordered to report the development to the Alliance. In the forest beneath another whirlpool portal, Qi Blood Palace leader and Bei Feng Knight joined 5 other Northern Territory Alliance great beings. When questioned about their delay, Qi Blood Palace leader lied, claiming they had been surveying the area, and avoided mentioning their failed attack on the Golden Horned Beast. He secretly recovered his damaged godly body with resources, fearing trouble if his injury was discovered. As news of Blade River Luo spread through the virtual universe, more Universe Knights rushed to the original star, some to hunt for the treasure, others to watch the conflict. Hong Alliance great beings flew toward the Black Blade's birthplace, while the Northern Territory Alliance continued strengthening its blockade. After his conversation with Primal Chaos City leader, the Golden Horned Beast flew toward another forest at sublight speed, planning to separate his bodies. Suddenly, his Shawu wing, already having recognized him as its master, began trembling uncontrollably, as if being pulled by a powerful force from afar. Luo Feng was shocked, unable to understand why the true treasure was defying his control, and stared in the direction of the pull, spotting a black light approaching rapidly. In that direction, a 25-foot-tall automaton race being with thick legs, 8 arms, a bald metal body, black armor, and black wings stood in the sky. His own wing, also a true treasure he had used for hundreds of thousands of years, was trembling uncontrollably, and he flew toward the source of the sensation in confusion. The Golden Horned Beast and the automaton being spotted each other, and both immediately noticed the other's wing. Luo Feng realized his Shawu wing was a broken true treasure, a component of a larger whole, explaining why it had not sent him detailed information when it recognized him as its master. He recalled Primal Chaos City leader's words that Shawu wing was mysterious, indestructible even by Universe Masters, and now understood its extraordinary material was due to its status as part of a powerful true treasure. Both beings were overjoyed at the realization each had a wing that was part of a greater true treasure, and combining them would likely bring a massive power boost. The automaton being Tianyang Knight, a universe overlord of the automaton race with 3 true treasures, including a senior true treasure 8 light shuttle and the title of candidate deified general for Xinguang General, landed on a branch and identified himself. Luo Feng, using the alias Golden Wing Knight, responded, and Tianyang Knight proposed exchanging the wings, asking Luo Feng to name his price. Luo Feng demanded a top-tier true treasure, a request Tianyang Knight rejected, as even Universe Masters rarely possess such treasures, and the combined wings might not reach that level. Both realized the other would not surrender their wing, and hostility quickly filled the air. The two attacked simultaneously. Tianyang Knight burned his godly power, summoned 8 20-foot-long black shuttles, and launched them at Luo Feng, while the Golden Horned Beast burned his godly body and charged. They clashed in close combat, exchanging over 100 blows per second, Tianyang Knight attacking relentlessly, the Golden Horned Beast shrinking to half a mile long to defend and counter with his wing occasionally. Tianyang Knight unleashed his ultimate technique, 8 shuttles, screaming 3 times to amplify its power, his eyes glowing black as the shuttle surged with energy. The technique was magnificent and powerful, leaving the Golden Horned Beast unable to counter, only able to endure the attacks. After the assault, the Golden Horned Beast stood unharmed, while Tianyang Knight, having consumed 3% of his godly body, stared in shock. The Golden Horned Beast pointed out Tuen Yang Knight's damaged godly body, and Tian Yang Knight, bitter and despairing at the Golden Horned Beast's impenetrable defense, vowed to claim his wing someday before flying away. The Golden Horned Beast also left, and the forest quickly returned to calm. After leaving the forest, the Golden Horned Beast separated from Remote Ocean Body, transferring all his valuables: Shawu Wing, Claw Set Treasure, Tower Pearl, Golden Thread Aurora Mirror, Force Armor, and the Blade River Luo component to Remote Ocean Body, who shrank to 30 feet tall and hid in the grass on a hill. The Golden Horned Beast, now empty-handed, flew into a vast forest. Remote Ocean Body reflected on Luo Feng's situation: strong defense and a powerful godly body, similar to 9 Remoteness Master facing a Universe Supreme Master unable to be killed, but also unable to kill the enemy. Luo Feng knew his attacking power was weak due to low law comprehension, and while he had attacking true treasures and strong willpower, Universe Overlords with better law comprehension and true treasures could still overwhelm him. Even so, Qi Blood Palace leader and Tian Yang Knight had consumed significant godly body to inflict minimal damage. Luo Feng, still longing for Tian Yang Knight's wing, let out a bitter snarl only to be suddenly entangled by an invisible force that controlled space and time. The Golden Horned Beast's eyes filled with terror. A Universe Master had arrived.